Hi Libra, this is your April forecast. It's a busy month up there in those heavens, what with Mars going retrograde in the middle of the month, and as if that wasn't enough, Mercury also going retrograde at the end of the month. So let's take a journey through the month, dear Libras, and see how this is all going to pan out for you personally. On the 6th of the month, we've got Venus, your ruler, coming into your 7th house of relationships. And what better place to have it, really, than in that 7th house. So this is a wonderful time for creating a new relationship in your life, if that's what you're looking for a romance. It's a wonderful time for bringing peace into an existing relationship and also making it more beautiful, more pleasurable, more fun, more enjoyable. It's all about bringing more joy and pleasure to your relationships this month. There's a really big focus on that area. And always when one house is strongly aspected, it means that the opposite house too, by reflection, is going to be activated. So Libras, this is an important time to look at loving yourself, feeling comfortable in your own skin. All too often Libras are not necessarily so direct and they kind of go a little bit round the houses because they don't want to upset anybody. But really, with all these beautiful planets, including Uranus in that 7th house of relationships, that's certainly been shaking up a lot of relationships for you since about 2011 when Uranus first went in that house. But nonetheless, this is going to be like a renewal of your relationships. And the reason for that is because on the 7th of the month, we've got a new moon happening in Aries also in this 7th house of relationship. Now on the 6th, same date as the Venus move, that Mercury moves into your 8th house. But let me cover now the new moon there in this relationship house, because Libras always want to know about relationships, don't you? Because relationships are tremendously important for you. And it's not only about relationships with other people and animals, but it's also about your relationship with yourself that you've got an opportunity to renew this month. That beautiful new moon on the 7th of the month gives you new beginnings in your relationship. An opportunity to see your relationships from a different angle. An opportunity to bring new people into your life, business or personal types of relationships. And with Mercury in this 8th house, this is an important time to really be examining finances, looking at your money, looking at any assets that you've got. Are they in a right place? Do you feel comfortable with them? Looking at any loans you might have, any tax situation to be completed. It's just a really good time to consider all of those things with that Mercury in your 8th house. And of course the big news is that Mars, planet of energy, goes retrograde from the 17th of April until the 29th of June, so it's quite a while, and it's going retrograde for you here in this house this month, and then it will retrograde into your financial house next month, but more about that in next month's video. So here, this Mars retrograde, well, the first thing to say about Mars retrograde is don't initiate a new project. It's not the best time for getting into a hot and steamy romance, because very often it fizzles out and projects fizzle out when Mars goes direct. So what I'm going to suggest is that with this Mars retrograde it's a wonderful time for resolving any conflicts that you've been experiencing, any disagreements. Libras, that's going to be music to your ears because you really love peace, you love harmony, that's really what you're all about, and this is a wonderful opportunity to be able to achieve that during this Mars retrograde for you. Mars retrograde as well is an opportunity to usually make a renewed effort in wherever it falls in your chart. So for this month from the 17th, with it falling in your 3rd house, this is a good time to make a renewed effort to do networking, if that's important to you. It's also a good time to make renewed effort to studying and learning something new, to communicating, to getting together with people. These are all things to make a renewed effort with, if that applies to you. it's not a good time to buy anything mechanical. If you must buy a new car, then get the best kind of insurance you possibly can get. Really cover all bases, because very often things do go wrong if they are bought during a Mars retrograde. Do not start a lawsuit during a retrograde. If something's going on and the other person starts a lawsuit with you, chances are they're going to lose. So just keep that in mind with the Mars retrograde energies. On April the 20th, the Sun comes into your 8th house, joining Mercury there. So this is shining a light on everything to do with intimacy. Sometimes, Libras, you can be so charming, so lovable, so nice and easy to get along with, but you don't necessarily let people very close, yes? There's maybe some trust issues, just things to maybe look at. And this is the house of intimacy. And wherever the sun shines its light, it wants you just to allow yourself maybe to let people in just a little bit more. And as you do that, you're going to feel more nourished, because so often I hear from many Librans, oh, you know, my relationships, I've got issues, this and that and the other, I'm still feeling lonely. But very often it is you who are keeping things at arm's length. So just keep that in mind. Maybe you're not doing that, but it's just something to reflect on and consider. On April the 22nd, we've got a full moon happening in your money house, Libras. Full moon brings something to light. So it could be a project coming to fruition. Could be some money coming in that you've been working on for a while, and at last the money comes in. Maybe it's a job you've been looking for, and yes, finally you get the okay. It could be also an opportunity to negotiate something you've been negotiating for a while, and finally we do have an agreement. And that could well happen because Mars is already retrograde by that point. And finally, on the 29th of the month, we've got Mercury going retrograde until May the 23rd. And as it is retrograde in that 8th house, this is a wonderful time to really reconsider everything connected with any joint financial situation that you've got. And it's also a very good time for really thinking about ways in which you can go more deeply into your life. Really giving yourself the space to go into deeper areas that maybe you haven't explored yet. This could be getting into astrology, into tarot, into crystals, into your psychic abilities, delving deeper into those. This would be a wonderful time for doing that during that retrograde. It would also be a great time for reading anything, for also a great time for writing anything. Really, writing is always good to do during a retrograde, because the mind slows a little during that process, and you're an air sign, so your mind is going 10 to the dozen here, and so it will give you an opportunity to slow your mind and to be able to write and communicate more clearly. And don't forget, during a retrograde, make sure you take time out to relax, rest, revive yourself. I wish you a wonderful month, my lovely, lovely Libras. Thank you for commenting, because your feedback enables me to make adjustments and to do more of the things that you like. And as your fellow Libra, to please you even more. Much love to you. Bye for now.